Number 4, I like to talk about Casino. Casino definitely is another movie directed by Martin Scorsese, the gangster director, the godfather of the gangster movies. He talked the way the gangsters talked, and he Italian, so he lived around his neighborhoods and been around people. Pretty sure that he know that was in the mob, and probably certain family members he know. It's all connected. It's all part of one big circle. It was directed in '95. It was starring Rob De Niro, Joe Pesci, Sharon Stone, James Woods. Don Rickles was in it. He had a big part in it. And Casino showed the gambling side of the mob, from the gambling point of view, from how they videotaped everything, how everybody was always watching each other. Before it became like it is now, with the slot machines and the debit cards that you gotta get, everything was done in with coins. It was a count room when the mob actually went in there, skimmed off the top, got what they wanted before anything happened, and that was real life, because casinos, Atlantic City, started by the mobsters, was all done and created by mobsters. Well, you have Rob De Niro, Joe Pesci. Then you got Ray Liotta. Ray Liotta, he's real good actor, real dramatic, good actor. He had a lot of good movies throughout our time. What I liked about the Goodfellas is that Martin Scorsese showed the mob like no other. The behind the scenes dudes. The dudes that was the bank robbers, the cutthroats, the thugs, the dudes at the card tables playing blackjack and playing the gambling games. They point of view, the killers, the dudes that was the hitmen, and the ones that did the dirty jobs for the mob. And they was the ones that went out and made money for the mob and did all the dirty work that nobody else wanted to do. And Martin Scorsese showed these characters to the fullest and went into detail about each of the characters, what the names were, how they got their names, what they did, and what their jobs were. Also, Ray Liotta, his wife in The Sopranos. His wife that played in The Goodfellas was the lawyer in The Sopranos. You go back and watch The Sopranos episode, the lawyer that was interviewing Anthony, the main character Tony, and in the show, she was the wife, the girlfriend that was getting cheated on in The Goodfellas. This is the movie that started it all right here. The box set of Scarface. Got this many years ago. This is definitely going to be kept in a collector's item. Got it in a little box set right here, like a little coffin. The classic movie, man, that started it all. Right here. Let's get to number 2. Number 2, I gotta talk about Scarface. Scarface is my number 2 all-time favorite movies of all time. I had to put that in there. Right, directed by Brian De Palma. It was De Palma. 1983. It came out in 1983. It starred Al Pacino. It started Michelle Pfeiffer. Michelle Pfeiffer and them had a good chemistry together, and I'm gonna get into that in a few minutes about their chemistry. But what I loved about Scarface, man, it just showed how it was an immigrant coming from nothing. They came into America, Miami, that made a come up, starting from nothing, and how it showed how we all are immigrants. Like for real, you think about it, we all came here on a boat at some point. And some people came over here forced and dragged to work forcefully for free for over 400 years. But that's another story. But we all came here on a boat somehow. at one point. Even got the Scarface figure right there that I brought many years ago. But gotta have that poster up. That poster I was telling y'all about. This is a classic poster to have up in your man cave, in your basement, whatever you could put it at. Ashy to classy. And a lot of the hip hop world gravitated towards that. And during that time in the 80s, a lot of individuals had that poster hanging up on their wall. The classic poster, Scarface poster, him with the suit on, the black and white suit on with the gun, became a classic poster throughout a lot of urban people's lives. And also, like I said, I was going to get into the characters of Michelle Pfeiffer and Al Pacino. They had a real good chemistry. Their chemistry was so good that they wound up doing another movie in '91, a couple years later, which was called Frankie and Johnny. There was a coincidence that Frankie and Johnny, Al Pacino, and Scarface, he played a short order cook who became a big time drug dealer real quick. But in Frankie and Johnny, he came out of prison and he became a short order cook who fell in love with Michelle Pfeiffer, and she was trying to play hard to get, just like the Scarface. She was trying to play hard to get, and they had a certain chemistry that they gravitated towards each other for some reason. And Scarface, she gravitated towards her because of the power thing and because of the money, and she seen that he had potential to be this big character of a thug who was on a different plane of existence that could give her what she wanted. But in Frankie and Johnny, they kind of were like distant souls who were drawn to be together. So that's a movie you definitely got to see. You got to see that movie. It came out in '91. Frankie and Johnny. Like I said, it's a coincidence how they connected back together to do that movie. Scarface was a remake. It wasn't the original, folks. It wasn't the original. Original movie was done in 1932. The whole ending was different. The ending was his sister was. I mean, she still was going messing with his best friend, and when she found out, she was real hysterical and stuff like that. But she forgave him real quick in the original movie. And then the original movie, she forgave him and picked up the Tommy gun and started shooting with her brother and started shooting the cops. In the original one, he was shooting at the cops. He wasn't shooting at Sosa, who came after him after he's supposed to did a favor for him that didn't go into full effect, that that he didn't wind up going and executing. And this one, the cops came after him. They came in his house. He was upstairs. She joined them, started shooting out the window, and that's when she got shot. And when she got shot, that's when he went crazy. He started shooting them up. And then they shot him on the stairway, and he died that way. This right here is the original Scarface movie, 1932, starring Paul Mooney. The original joint from back in the day, man. A lot of people don't even know this is this right here. This actually came with the Al Pacino remake of 1983. It came with this DVD. And getting back to Scarface, man, before I end this. A lot of people love Scarface for the shoot 'em up scene at the end, say hello to my little friend and all that. But my favorite part of Scarface is when he was in a restaurant and he was like, all of y'all is a bunch of fucking assholes. He is like, is this what it is? This is it? Is this it? Fucking sucking, snorting, then what? Then what? You're 50. You got a bag for a belly. You got tits. You got hair on it. And you eating this shit. And then the boy Manny was like, chill, man. And then, he arguing with his girl, Michelle Pfeiffer, man. He talking about something. I can't kiss by her. It's like a womb is so polluted. She threw the wine on him, and he was like, say goodnight to the bad guy. This is the last time you're gonna see a bad guy like this, I'll tell you that. And he was right. The last time you ever will see a thug and a bad guy on film since that movie of Scarface, and he hit it right on the nail. You never seen a ruthless thug, and he kind of like foretold it. You never will see, he kind of like told his character, foreshadowed his scene on screen, and saying he was gonna never ever see a bad guy on screen and portrayed like that, and he was absolutely right. I had this as the number one movie on my top 10 list of all time best gangster movies / mob movies. Carlito's Way, Al Pacino playing Carlito Brigante. Definitely his street knowledge is like no other in this movie right here. Now let's get into Carlito's Way, which is my number one gangster movie of all time. And I'm gonna tell you why I put that before Scarface in a few minutes. But I love Carlito's Way. It was made in '91, directed by Brian De Palma again. He definitely did some of the greatest gangster movies of all time. Yeah, Sean Penn, and it started Al Pacino. Al Pacino was kind of funny. He always played gangster roles as an Italian dude. But in this movie, the pros and cons of this movie is that the street life was depicted on a real serious level. The cons of this movie was that Al Pacino accent was real bad. Like, that's the only thing that it was funny. That he was trying his best to play like a Puerto Rican. He's supposed to play like a Puerto Rican dude. His accent wasn't that good as far as to try to but he played it real good because all the street stuff made up for it. His knowledge of the street game and all that. And my favorite part from Carlito was Carlito and Billy Bronco from the Bronx. That was my favorite part, man. Like, when the dude from the restaurant was like, Billy Bronco wanna see you, and then the owner of the restaurant was like, "Wow, Carlito ain't wanna mess with Billy Bronco." Billy Bronco was a corny bull, corny. He was up and coming, local, no hood, that was only about himself. And the owner was like, "Why you acting like this? This guy is you 20 years ago." And Carlito was like, "Never me. Never me." So he went up to Billy Bronco, finally met up with him. He's like, you ain't want to buy my... I think he offered him a drink, and Carlito ain't want it. And then they had a little confrontation. He finally came up to Carlito, and he was like, "You think you like me?" This was Carlito was saying to Billy Bronco. He was like, "You think you like me? You ain't like me, motherfucker. You's a punk." He's like, "I've been with many people, connected people. Who you been with? Jive ass, Molly Gold motherfuckers. Won't you go somewhere and rob a purse or something?" And they took him out on a terrace, up on top of the staircase outside. And that's the part you thought, you really thought that I was gonna just shoot him and kill him right there. And he didn't want to get caught up in that street life no more. So he told him, he's like, if you ever come around here again, you die. Just like that. Now, that part right there, man, put chills up my spine. I'm like, yo, that's some ruthless shit to tell a motherfucker, man. The ruthless shit, like, that shit stuck in my head for a long time. That's some hardcore shit. If you ever act up again, I will kill you with no hesitation. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's that part right there, man. I want to see Carlito at least 3 times or 4 times in a movie theater. And back in the day, you was able to go in and out of movie theaters like easily. I liked it better than Scarface because it had more life lessons. Carlito's Way to me. It had more life lessons like we don't see the lines no more in life. You're lost. Like there's a thin line that you cross in life, and that the point of no return. And when you go to that point, there's no turning back. Also, when he told Sean Connery character, also Sean's Penn character, when Sean Penn was like, man, let's go back after they killed the bull in the boat. He's like, let's go back, we can have some fun. And he's like, you ripped Tony T off, didn't you? And he's like, how much you ripped him off for? Then he told him, he's like, you're not a gangster no more. You're on the other side of the film. He's like, you can't go to school for this, and you can't get an early start. You know, it's like stuff like that, like in a movie. And then he was like, the rules of the street, which Sean Penn told him when he was in the hospital, when he found out that Sean Penn character was setting him up. He told him when he came and he thought that Carlito's gonna come to kill him in the hospital. He was like, fuck you and your righteous code of the street, you know, all this other stuff. He like, the rules of the game is you save your own ass. You save your own ass. And Al Pacino, Carlito's character, set him up, took the guns, you know, took the bullets out. He thought he had the bullets in the gun. But all the whole time you're talking to him in the hospital, he was taking the bullets out of the gun that the bull thought he had in the gun, but he didn't. He took them all out, so he tried to shoot out. You know what I'm saying? The dudes came in the hospital, tried to shoot Sean Penn. Al already took the bullets out. He got shot in the head because he already knew, like, this is what I'm doing. I already know that they coming to kill you already. So, like, those little life lessons, man, that I loved about Carlito's Way is you know, then I got certain parts of Carlito's Way. I know the whole movie inside out. I probably, any other movie that I ever watch I probably know line by line from the time he got himself out of court. I can repeat that and all that. But one of my favorite lines is when the dude in the wheelchair, man, went to see him. Elaine was a dude that I knew back in the day, was like a dude that used to hook females up with dudes and set up different situations for different people. He was like an organizer and a promoter of the underground, and he became crippled, and he was supposed to be locked up for like many years of what he did, and he got out to snitch on Carlito, and Carlito met him up in his office in the restaurant that he was supposed to have been managing, and he seen him and he like, hey, how you been doing, this and that and that. And when he found out he had a wire on him, you know, he was up there like, look at you got everything, man, I got nothing, look at me. He said, you got everything, look at you. I can't walk, I can't hop, you know? Don't you just kill me, you cocksucker! Yo. he sit up there, man, and Carlito found out he was a snitch. Bachacha, you know what I mean? Carlito's hitman was gonna come and he's gonna shoot him and all this stuff, man. And he looked at him and pulled his head back and said, how could you fuck the only person that cared about you? He said, you over, motherfucker. You over. He said, I should dump your body and put it in a fucking river. In a fucking river. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that shit, it was like Scarface coming out and resurfing it again. And if you watch Carlito, you see a lot of Scarface coming out through the Carlito's character. A lot of it, like certain parts of it get real hype. And I love Carlito because you see a lot of the Scarface sneaking out of certain crevices and everything like that. But right now, we got to end this. I'll catch you next time. I'd like to thank everybody tuning in for Let's Talk Movies. Tune in next week and I'll be talking to you about my top 10 karate movies of all time. I really want you to tune into that. Make sure you tune into that. Thanks for tuning in. DC, the Mad Lyrical Wolf. Peace. I'm out.